in this battle, we're taking on. I'm not gonna try that. His in-game name is Kaiser, which is really cool. Yes, this must be probably the competitive scene's greatest battler. He's actually ranked number 1. And he told me he would give me a shiny Lugia and sub to my channel if I won. So we definitely want to get that one done, not gonna lie. Heatran's gonna be really useful, as I see that there's a wall Corona. I do fear that Rotom, and that's kind of telling me not to start with Sizer. Yeah, I don't know. Let me actually do me a favor and get a screenshot of this team, because this is probably a good team and it's gonna help to know what we're going up against. How do I start? I'm gonna start with the Venusaur, to be honest, and I'm gonna Mega Evolve it. It has a good matchup into Rotom and Volcarona. Yeah, perfect. And see, I want to go for the Leech Seed, but he could always go into Miascarada on the wall switch. So what's ideal here is to probably Sludge Bomb and see what he goes into. I mean, he has Mawile as a switch in, but we have Hidden Power Fire, so it's not going to be very easy of him to do that. I mean, he could right now, which is alright. Volcarona does not switch in Vol to Venusaur. Sludge Bomb is going to, of course, do an amount, but so will Leech Seed, and he can't really hit me super effectively. Now, I will probably want to switch out here, regardless of the matchup, because I mean, still Volcarona can do damage, but I mean, he could have Psychic. We do get the Poison, which is lovely. So I mean, if we can dispatch Volcarona, that will do us quite a good favor. I believe though the ideal move is actually to bring in my dog Heatran. I don't believe he's gonna have Hidden Power Ground. And if he does, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And it's unlikely he goes for a Bug Buzz. He might have Hidden Power Water. I actually don't really know if he has any Hidden Powers. Yeah, the Career Dance comes out. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he can do. I mean, even worst case, if he manages to break through Heatran, he's poisoned. And he's going to take quite a lot of damage from Bullet Punch. So, I mean, if he breaks through this, we can just take him out with Sizer. So, let's get our Rocks up. Yeah, and that's going to make sure that Volcarona can't come in again unless he has Heavy Duty Boots. He's probably going to want a Wall Switch here. Or actually, I can see a Hydro Pump. I mean, so what I would do if I knew he was going to go for a Wall Switch would be this, because I have Volt Absorb. Although, there's a good chance he might not Wall Switch. And it makes a lot of sense for him to Hydro Pump here, because it's super effective. Now, see, when you're taking on a competitive battler, what they will do is they'll Wall Switch, because they know that Rotom forces a switch. And actually doesn't technically, so I'm pretty sure I can actually take a Hydro Pump from this, but I don't want to if I can. But, you know, what you do is you Wall Switch, so then you can actually gain momentum, and that can actually bring in a proper dangerous attacker. So I would Venusaur, and I think I can Venusaur, although I don't want Mawile coming in. So I do have to consider that. What would I do if Mawile comes in is a question. Can Tapu Fini come in? Not necessarily. That's the problem. Yeah, we will have problems if the Mawile gets in. I guess I can go into Heatran if he tries to set up a Swords Dance or something like that. So we'll take the risk for now. I mean, obviously, if he goes for Wall Switch, I want to learn that and then react accordingly next time. But okay, so the Hydro Pump does come out. It's a good thing we didn't gamble. It's realistic that he okay, so he might actually try and go into Mawile, knowing that I have Hidden Power. Volcarona can't switch in anymore, which is clear. I want to Hidden Power Fire in case he goes into Mawile, so that's going to be a lot more value than just getting a Leech Seed off. So let's go ahead and do that. And if he goes into Volcarona, it's A-okay. Unless he has Heavy Duty Boots. We'll work with that though. It's unlikely that he stays in. He might Wall Switch, but I mean, it's not worth it for him to do that. Let's Hidden Power. Dang. Okay, so he actually stays in. Will-O-Wisp isn't a problem though. Yeah, that's a surprise. I mean, he might actually figure out we don't have Giga Drain. And that's okay. We don't need it for this matchup. Let's go ahead and Leech Seed though. I mean, that's gonna kind of pressure him against going into Mawile on this. Hydro Pump comes out. Not much damage. Leech Seed is going to be really high value for us. We can recover a lot more than we'll be losing. And I think I'm just going to go for another round of Leech Seed. So I can kind of force a switch. And if he actually stays in, I'll just Synthesis, if that makes sense. Yeah. Let's hit him Power on this. Yeah, it made sense. He's kind of forced to switch out. Miascarada comes in. I wish I Sludge Bombed on this though. But it's alright. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of damage. I don't think he's switching in again after this one. Yeah, we did do quite the amount to this guy, not gonna lie. So I actually don't know what Miascarada can do. So what I'm gonna do here is look it up. Let's get that started. I actually don't remember. It's important to consider if Rotom is faster or not. I don't quite remember if it outsped or not, but I'm gonna have to probably consider that because we do want to keep Venusaur alive. Let's see. And worst case, if I run out of time, I'm just gonna Synthesis. Let's see what it can do. Okay, so he has access to triple XL. I think I can actually live a hit. So I'm just gonna Synthesis on this. Yeah, he just goes for a U-turn. Does no damage, so I guess this is not Protean. And he probably can live another Stealth Rock switch in, but it's not gonna be very easy for him to do that, you know, repetitively. Let's see what he goes into here. Mawile. Oh no. Now that's dangerous right there. So I guess I understand that. He's trying to pivot it in. I think there was a... I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, he did take quite an expense though by trying to do that. Let's see, what can we do? I don't know. Do we live... No. I don't know if we get one-shotted though. That would be insane if we do. Have size of it. Bullet Punch. It's not going to be very reliable. This is quite the problem, if you guys couldn't tell. I'm going to Heatran on this. I want to force out a Sucker Punch if I can. Or what I could even do is I could just go for a Taunt. Because unless he has like Stone Edge or something, it's going to prevent him from going for Swords Dance. And he most likely, if he has like, I believe that Mawile will typically be running like Iron Head and Play Rough alongside Sucker Punch and Swords Dance, so he's not going to do any of that in most cases. Okay, so I had to make a guess. He's going to be forced to switch out here, and he's going to go into Rotom, and we can anticipate Rotom. What are we going to do? Not much, actually. I mean, we know Venusaur wins that matchup, but we really want to establish offensive pressure, and I'm trying to get this game over with. Now, I don't have to. Obviously, we don't need to make moves right now, so we are in a winning position. But, you know, the idea of going into something like this guy and just trying to set up would be nice. I could even... Tyrant. No, he has Will-O-Wisp and Hydro Pump. That's just dumb. So we may actually just want to take our damage here. Depends. Still trying to read him, but I believe he will switch into Rotom here. That's really... Or he could go into Ludicolo. See that one happening as well, but I mean, not really. That's not a smart one. Let's just take our damage. I don't think that's gonna hurt. Yeah, most likely into Rotom. I was really tempted to Venusaur on that, but okay. So it looks like a sacrifice here, which is annoying because now we're gonna waste PP on Magma Storm, and that is a free entry to Rotom here. Although I believe he's gonna Volt Switch. I have to make a guess at least. Yeah, not gonna lie though, that shiny Lugia does sound kind of nice. I ain't gonna lie. That was his agreement. And to subscribe. Although I'm not gonna lie, like actually, like if I do win this battle, I'm not gonna take his shiny Lugia from him. He can keep that. I mean, obviously, I can't really do anything with it. I don't play with Uber Pokemon, and neither do I need it from him because, I mean, I have access to a spawner now, so it's unnecessary. But regardless, it still is nice to have something to the table because, I mean, obviously, it makes this battle a lot more interesting than it normally would be. So yeah, that's that. I actually do like how this team is working out. I don't know if it's really the ultimate team in terms of effectiveness, because obviously we had our struggles against certain matchups like Rotom, to be honest. I mean, I guess I mean it does actually work out really good, and I'm sure that, you know, if we battle a lot of higher level opponents in the future, we'll be able to assess the weaknesses and strengths of this team. But like right now, I actually like how it's working out. Especially with, you know, okay, so Zero Aura comes in. This is a great opportunity to Venusaur. Yeah, don't see why not. Even if he Blaze Kicks, it's not going to do much damage since we have an ability which reduces fire and eyesight damage, so it's going to be nice. Fake out, yeah, that's not a problem. We can also now Leech Seed freely, and that's purely because this man right here does not really have an answer to it. I mean, he lost his one. Well, he actually does have Ludicolo, although Ludicolo does not beat Venusaur. Let's actually... No, I don't want a Sludge Ball. I'm just going to Leech Seed because he can always go into Mawile. I don't want him getting any free switches into that. Although it looks like Heatran absolutely demolishes Mawile in this matchup. He doesn't really have a good way to counter it, other than Swords Dancing and then going for a Sucker Punch, or if you had Stone Edge, that could have worked too. I mean, typically, Mawile just doesn't run moves for Heatran, and what you want to do if you're using Mawile is you want to get rid of Heatran or lower, you know, get it at least injured, so that, you know, when you actually try and go for your sweep of Mawile, you can take it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to play around stuff like that when you're trying to use it. It's not really a Pokemon that can come in and come out that easily. Like, when you use it, you have to use it with purpose. And Venusaur, from what I've seen, I've really, this is probably the first time I've ever used it in a competitive battle, but this seems to be a Pokemon I can just bring in and bring out constantly because it has Synthesis, it has Leech Seed, it stays healthy, it's got bulk, it actually deals pretty good damage too with its attacks. So I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not a sitting duck. Poison and Fire is a good stab combination, and it has the pressure of being a grass type, so you know, a lot of I guess water types will stay away from it, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Okay, what's happening? Why are we... Okay, he forfeits the match 5 seconds into it. That's gonna be GG. Good game.